Okay, everyone, so there's going to be two short additions to this video. I'm going to put this at the very beginning because I want you to know that the overall energy as far as surrounding you includes the Fool. As I was putting the cards back and I went through the deck, this popped out upright. And and you'll understand why this is really important to your reading because it really coalesces with the overall energy of a new start. It's time for a new beginning. You have what it takes to start new. You have all the skills, the intelligence, the elegance, the experience to trust in yourself to start new. All right? The journey is afoot. Let spirit guide you. However, you need to take action. This isn't one of those, oh, fate says it's going to happen, it'll happen. Nothing happens without action. All right? Thank you very much. Enjoy this reading. Power undirected by high purpose spells calamity, and high purpose by itself is utterly useless if the power to put it into effect is lacking. Theodore Roosevelt. Hi everyone, thank you for returning to FireFly Moon Tarot. If this is your first time, thanks for joining in. For all those returning subscribers or viewers, I appreciate you very much. So this is FireFly Moon Tarot, the tarot channel for all things related to your moon sign and the moon cycles. So today is that Leo, or that full moon in Leo, known as the Queen's Moon, which is a time where individuals have the ability to utilize the energy to take on more leadership position roles, to prove yourself as a leader, to reinforce yourself as a leader, and to inspire those around you to partake in more fulfilling actions. Now, if you are not an individual that seeks to be a leader or seeks to establish your role as a leader, this is actually the energy around this time. For those of you, it's your time to take this action and to take this moment to show compassion towards someone who you have seen take on a leadership role in your life that has benefited you, for which you are grateful for. So this is your opportunity to offer support to all those leaders around you who have helped inspire and push through processes through hard times, yourself or those around you. This is not just about the individual in itself. This is a communal, collective energy of either supporting those leaders in your community or in your life, or being that leader in your life. Now, there is a difference between two different types of leaders that we see. One actually leads by, it becomes a leader because people choose to follow them. The other is a leader because they've been put in a position to boss people around. This isn't the one that particularly inspires motivation or inspires action. You just feel like you're forced to do it. The authoritarian type leadership. So there is, any overbearing fool can order people around, but it takes someone with a Leo energy, this inspiring energy, to push people to want to do something of their own volition. And that's the energy we're referring to this time. Now, again, there is those in those low vibrational states, possibly, especially Aries, maybe Aries in reverse, if we're seeing that come up, a very ego-driven, petty, narcissist, very insecure type people who lead through this overbearing kind of childishness. But the healthy energy is the Queen's energy. And the Queen has always, predominantly, I won't say that throughout, if one understands history, it doesn't make female leaders immune to. But Queens often represent a inspirational aspect to a monarchy, since this is a role in a monarchy, versus the king. The king usually tries to expand their kingdom and rule over more people, where the Queen seeks to promote inspiration and create a iconic view for the people within their kingdom. Maria Antoinette, before she was beheaded, she was the fashion symbol. Queen Elizabeth, they just lost, regardless of the fact that she ruled over a country that propagated the slave trade throughout the Commonwealth, is what they call it. you know, she attempted to be a leader for all people. Now, did she understand that role? No, she was raised in a monarchy, and she didn't actually get to see how she didn't actually see the performativity of it. She was just, you know, raised by an institution that made her believe that, oh, all's good, you know. But she did it through a caring, inspirational manner, you know. I mean, people wanted to take the benefit of the doubt with her. And it's just more about that female aspect of the role, as far as leadership and inspiration. Let's see, it's about ruling from the heart instead of the head. So it's not a real king of air type energy. It is a real, like, one, I mean, it's the queen of fire. Like, obviously she's passionate in her heart, but, you know, the queen of water is also the water signs are also very compassionate in their own way. But so that might come up for some of you. And what leaders do appreciate is like strong leaders is this queen time. So if you are a supportive role or someone around a leader, compassionate communication as far as things that they do well and things that they don't do well. Criticism isn't the right word. I think, you know, compassionate contemplation is better, because you're not really criticizing their way. You just see the potential in them to do better. So you're compassionately offering, you know, honest advice. Honesty is the key, right? Okay, so that is the full moon for tonight. Obviously, I apologize, air signs. This is all your air sign energy. Normally I do, you know, them all in order, but for some reason I did water ahead of you, and obviously there's a reason for it. I'm not sure. Is this not focusing? Focus in on these cards. But so I apologize for this coming out late. You know, I love my air signs. Also, there is a green comet in our flying through our solar system at this time. If that interests you, might be something that interests you. So I have meditated on your cards. I have not cleansed the space. Oh my goodness, let me cleanse the space before I get too far with this. One was about to pop out, and it pushed back in as soon as I said that. All right. Spirits, guide, guardians, angels, I ask that we cleanse this space for the highest good of all our air signs. This includes our Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is the Aquarius season, so happy birthday to all you Aquariuses out there. I do appreciate you joining us today. All right, thank you, spirits. Only the positive energy for air signs at this time. So I have changed up the format a little bit for my really long ones. Why isn't this focusing? Focus! Since my vacation, due to time constraints in my own life, I wasn't getting enough videos out because it takes about 6 hours to complete one of my old videos, which was 2 hours of filming, 2 hours of editing, uploading, and all that stuff, and then 2 hours of uploading, and it became too much. So I've condensed it down. Of course, you'll still find that mine are still an hour long and winded. So we are going to do first the overall energy of our air signs. We're going to, usually I get about 4 cards for that, just depending on what spirit wants to give you. Of course, now that I cleanse the space, it's just, they're ready to talk, right? We're going to 2, or is it just 1? Well, it might be, okay. So the overall energy, and then I'm going to go into an individual, okay, yeah, there we go. I'm going to go into the individual signs as well. All right. And then you will get a inspirational card for the overall energy, and a advice card for the individuals. I feel like I'm gonna have to change the height of my camera so you can see those a little bit better. All right, thank you very much. First off, we have our Gemini. Please, Spirit, can you guide us for our Gemini's highest good? What do they need to know during this Queen's full moon? This is the second week of the new year. Second month of the new year. Man, I can't even. Something might happen the second week of the new year, and that's how this full moon, you're assessing what manifestation you kind of set in place 2 weeks ago. All right. Thank you very much. We have the Ten of Air, the Magician, and Temptation. Oh, goodness, Gemini. Are you trying to manifest a new sexual interest? No, like real fiery thing. All right, the Libra. Oh, and that's that Emperor energy that I was talking about. So wait a second, that's way too many. That is way too many. Libra, please, spirits, guide them for their highest good at this time. What do they need to know? I think one of these actually was one that came out. Okay, perfect. All right, lastly, up Aquarius again. Happy birthday to my Aquarii. What do they need to know at this time for their highest good, Spirit? Please guide them towards the messages that they need to hear and that I am equipped to convey. Obviously, this is a general reading. These are not one-to-one readings. And I may make mistakes. Like I do realize later on, I get these messages from Spirit afterwards. Like, you should have said this. I'm like, oh. And it pains me. It really does. The Nine of Earth, I'm like, oh, was it because I wasn't like still enough? Like, was I not hearing you speak to me? You know, my Spirit's guide, we're still working on our communication style and patterns. Sometimes, you know, I get stuck in these bouts of silence. You'll see sometimes my videos are edited. And I think me and my guides, we need to find a way to communicate during those silent things, because I don't seem to be picking up on the messages sometimes, even though they're telling me to be silent. So back to you, Aquarius. What is the last card for Aquarius we need to know at this time? Man, there's a lot of earth here for y'all. I mean, at least the last two signs. And we only have one up here, but two here. Just, yeah. I mean, Capricorn is earth. Very interesting. Okay, hold on a moment. I think I'm going to try and raise this up just a bit. All right, thank you. I don't know if you've noticed a difference. You can see a difference possibly. I can play a little bit with the space here as well. Bring some of these down so you can see them. So overall energy for the air signs. We have our Seven of Earth. The glow of this card is really striking me right now. The kind of golden reflection, this basking in the sunlight type situation. And literally I see that, like taking naps in the sun, taking a nap in like a sun puddle, or sitting next to water that's reflecting sunshine off of you. Something to do with the sun is really coming positively through this. Seven of water, so that's 2 sevens in a row. Okay, so synchronicities right off the bat. And then we have a 6 of air, so there's also a sequential aspect to this, a growth aspect, a 6 to a double, a pair of sevens. And then we have call, 20. Wow, there's something also very... I'm just going to let you sit also, just like kind of take that in as well. I like showing the cards because you can see something in it as well. Okay, so I'm now going to put them a little bit so I can see them in a certain light and aspect. Okay, so what I'm feeling is this is a real turning path. Like this is a moment when you have put a lot of effort and work into something. There is something that you have either been proactively participating in, or because you have so much experience at something and you've been doing for something for so long that you have gained a certain kind of knowledge. You're like a system matter expert, or the key, the point of contact, like a POC or a, like I said, a SME. You have, and I feel like it's something also that you've been doing for a long time, that it's not what you want to do. It's just what you've become accustomed to doing. Like, I think you've just become a little bit too comfortable, and it doesn't inspire you or ignite. interest or flame in you. That's very interesting, since inspiration is the key of this moon. So instead of like you becoming a leader as far as inspiration goes, I think that you are looking for that inspiration. Like you are longing for some kind of inspirational, motivational peak, a sign, something in your life that can move you out of the Seven of Earth energy, because this is a very stable, solitary energy. This is, like I said, it's something that you've been doing for, why isn't it focusing? It's something that you have been doing, I feel, for a long time, and you just become so good at it, you become comfortable. That is what I'm getting. It's just too comfortable. There's no passion, there's no new excitement regarding like gaining knowledge or gaining skill or gaining experience. You're kind of stagnant and stuck. And so I feel like you're at a road, a pinnacle kind of position where you need to, like a peak, like you're looking out and you need to decide which peak you're headed for. Because if this is someone who has gained a certain amount of knowledge, you need to understand where that knowledge exists and how to integrate it into other aspects of your life. Possibly how to, like in this case, how to make it more financially beneficial for you. How to create more abundance out of it, right? It may not be in the sector that you're already working in, and you may have been telling yourself that, oh, I've only done this as a job, it doesn't apply to this and this. Yes, it does. Understand the interlinking connections between the majority of all positions. There's a certain, like, soft skills are huge. If, like, organizational skills help immensely out in business. Like, you need to be able to organize either data, schedules, files, figures, ideas, and it also has to do with your kind of soft skills. Are you able to work in a team? You know, almost every job has prepared you for working in a team, whether that was being an athlete, whether that was working in the service industry, whether that was volunteering. Like, all these things promote a sense of teamwork. And I'm also really seeing team. Like, these are all different kind of fishes. And I know this is the card of choice, and I get that. But this still seems like a team is working together, you know, in the good of something, you know, offering. And what I really see is that this is going to take you places. This is going to take you on a different path. There's a journey set out for you, and you are guided on this. This is your fate. This is your judgment. You have earned this right. You have this. I want to say right to it, but it's not just that you have the right to this life, this future, this opportunity, this journey. It's destined. It's destined. If you don't take this chance at this point in time, you will be not fulfilling a certain aspect of your destiny. Now, that is not to say that you will miss out on this opportunity. This opportunity will continue to come again. Like the moon and everything else, it moves in cycles. So any lessons and any opportunities that are presented to you, if you do not take it the first time, or you fail the test, the lesson that life is trying to teach you. And some, I don't know yet, if I don't see fear like coming out, maybe a little with this one, but coming out in any of the readings at this point. But it does, you know, it could be a lack of your own confidence, your lack of confidence, which is why I think right now is the perfect time for someone who possibly lacks confidence, like some of you, is that this Queen's moon is actually, for some reason, you're feeling more confident about things. And I can't say for some reason, because I know exactly why you're feeling that confidence, because this moon is the cycle that it is in. So take advantage of this moment where you're feeling this extra burst of confidence and this extra burst of inspiration. Apply for those jobs that you didn't think that you would get. And make sure that the voice that is emanated through that cover letter specifically represents the voice and what you feel right now, because that's what you need to go with. Don't format it in the way that you possibly have been formatting these come on, just focus on this. Yes, these cover letters in the past, because I feel that you were just being too practical about it. This is just a super practical card. And I think right now you need to show a little bit more of your inspiration. You need to shine a little bit more of your light. Like, throw something to the wind. Like, you could just, like, is she tooting? Is that a giant horn? That is. This is, you can barely tell it's in her mouth, but this huge horn, right? Because this is meant, like this, it's literally calling you to do this, okay? And if you're like, you know, if you're not like as committed to find a new job and you just kind of randomly scroll through certain job offers, there may be like, and this could be, again, the choices. Oh my God, what job should I apply for? You know, just randomly you're scrolling through and all of a sudden you like are kind of really drawn to this one. That's the one. Just sit down, take some time and apply yourself to apply for that job and really integrate a lot of that inspirational energy you're feeling right now. Okay, for those others of you, I'm getting a move. You have been living in the same town, same house, same apartment, same city, you know, same state. Something you have just like, at that point where you're like, I haven't seen the world. I haven't, you know, seen the US. I mean, is this, you might literally have grown up in this city, gone to high school in this city, went to college in this city, and you got a job in this city, and you bought a house in this city, and you're like, God, is this, you're at that moment where you're like, have I done enough? Have I seen enough with my life? Like, I mean, I'm comfortable, but does that not mean that I can't enjoy things other places? Like, I have to say, like, personally, I grew up in what I consider to be probably one of the best cities in the world to grow up in. Now, I mean, as far as climate change has changed a little bit of the weather, so it's not as nice as it used to be, but sunny next to the ocean. We had a world famous zoo, we had an aquarium, we have other amusement parks nearby. So we have this huge, like Balboa Park just has like every museum you could want and need. Like, again, growing up next to the beach, growing next to the mountains, like there was just so much there for families with kids who wanted to create a really good environment for them to grow up in. And a lot of people stayed there, went to college there because, you know, so many people want to live there. And, you know, and people always ask me, like, especially when I live in cold places, like, why did you move here? I'm like, just because I grew up in like one of the best cities in the world doesn't mean that I shouldn't have the right to expand my horizon and experience other places. Because the city I found that I most connected with and I'm still in love with, that city is the love of my life so far. Like what it's offered me and what I offered it, and the hard days, the good days, and that was Berlin. And so it wasn't even in my country, it was in a completely different country. But it is where I found home. It was home for me. Like when I say I want to go home, that's what I think of. Right? So I'm feeling some of you are called to really try out a new city. Try something that is more your vibe. Like you may not even feel as comfortable here wherever you are as you used to feel. I have a cousin that just moved to Tennessee because there weren't enough, she's from Orange County, and she said there weren't enough conservatives in Orange County. Oh, so she moved to someplace in Tennessee so she can get more, so she didn't have to be surrounded by liberal people like myself. Love her to death, but you know, it's just wherever you feel comfortable. I just feel like you've been at a place for so long, and so some of you, I really think you're deciding, maybe I want to pick up and move. Do I want to sell my house? Do I want to lease my house? Do I want to rent my apartment? Do I want to sublease my apartment? Like, is this going to work out? Do I need a job there? Can I go remote? But I think this move, this shift is really what you need to do in order to reignite this inspiration in yourself. Because it may start, you may join a different community, you may join a different sport or something like, maybe volleyball. I'm not sure where you want to move, but now's the time, I think, to take an opportunity and to take a chance, Don't forget that we've got catastrophe after catastrophe as we're living through life right now. So please take advantage of the opportunities you have to actually live your life and not regret not taking action on things. Some of you might be trying to expand your business and you're not sure where you want to expand your business to, but you think that there's more growth opportunities, so you are looking into a little bit of expansion. Possibly hiring on new people. I'm not saying this will be successful, but it's definitely what you're being called to do, and now is an opportunity to do it. Though I will remind you that the interest rates are going up, so if you were thinking about taking out a business loan, you know, obviously there's going to be a little extra overhead included in the additional buy-in costs to whatever expansion that you're doing. And I always advise against debt financing. It ruins companies, it ruins businesses. I mean, the fiasco that's going on through the majority of veterinarian clinics right now is just a tragedy, and it was all built on debt financing. All right. So this is what I have for you lovely air signs. This is really great. I think you have some real positive movement coming out in your future. So I want to get a little bit of an inspiration card for you all. I have already shuffled it. So what is some inspiration that we can see at this time for our lovely air signs? I mean, new job or new place to live or expanding a business. This is all wonderful. Look at that cleansing water. It's almost like the icebergs. Mintanken. Okay, so the Mintanken are a type of astral people or a celestial being. Longing for home. Belonging. The original light workers. So I'm going to read out of this as far as inspiration. I think this is a beautiful inspiration card because, I mean, it's literally, this is all about inspiring yourself and connecting with that pure light that is going to help lead you towards your next step. Now, if there is an affirmation with it, I am going to ask you to slow down your breath and breathe in with me. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. On the last breath, I will ask that you close your eyes, and then I will read the affirmation. That's only if it has an affirmation. I'm not sure that it does. It does have, yes, it does. And then you're going to repeat with me. But first, let me read you what this says. Hopefully it's focused in. Minatankans are a soul group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. Mintanken's home planet is thought to have been a water world, with water so pure that you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintankans feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. So some of you actually might be moving to a place where there is water like that. So the mountains where there are glacial reservoirs possibly, or the Caribbean. And they are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and the light in all beings. Many Mintankans have an odd longing for home and struggle with feelings like they don't belong. Wait, I'm going to start that over. Many Mintankans have an odd longing for home and a struggle with feeling like they don't belong. It is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pulled this card, it could mean that you are a Mintankan, or a longing for a sense of belonging and root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. So that's one form of inspiration is right now is connecting to your root chakra as well. So maybe putting on some frequency videos on YouTube with the root chakra and meditating with it. Also, I think this really connects to what I was saying about wanting to move and try out a new place. Like you just don't feel like you found, a home yet. Just because you've been a place for a long time and you're comfortable doesn't mean that that's home. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where it is. Literally what I just said. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on Earth to call your own. If so, you're being called to connect with Mother Earth and create it for yourself now. To choose where you feel most at home and create it rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come. Okay, so as such, which I think really fits perfectly with so much of what I was saying, I want you to take a couple deep breaths. We're going to start one in and out. And out. Now close your eyes. One last deep breath in. And repeat after me. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around or feeling held and call in the perfect home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in a perfect home. I think this is really, really poetic energy around what's happening right now. And I think this is a perfect leadership opportunity for you to see your own value and to take on, you know, the role of making this happen for you. You know, the independence role. All right, thank you, air signs, very much for participating in this general reading at this time. I am going to go into each individual one. So here we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Don't forget the links are found in the description part of the box. And then there is a short meditation at the end of this video. If you enjoy my readings, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. All right, love and light. All right, first off, here we are, Gemini. So, see what we can, and we're actually, no, I think it was better off where, all right, so we have a Magician. This is our Aries energy for me. It's not Aries energy though, I'm pretty sure. It's a different one, but for some reason it always shouts Aries to me. In fact, I really should double check on where. Oh, sorry if you can see my face. I don't want to distract any of you. Mercury. That is it. He is the Egyptian, a form of Thoth. And yeah, okay. But, I mean, the Magician also represents leadership. I think that's why sometimes I get Aries energy out of it, is because it represents, I mean, obviously the Emperor is Aries. Mercury, which actually goes really well with Gemini, because Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So this could definitely be Magician-wise as manifesting, like, and not just manifesting, like, speaking things to life. Like Gemini are supposed to be, like Mercury rules communication, and Geminis are supposed to be smooth talkers and communicators. So this may be a time when words become things for you. So first off, be very careful what you're speaking out into the universe, okay? Because it may not come back in the way that you expect it. There is always that, you know, the fable around Aladdin and any kind of jinn story or fairy tale or legend that any, I mean, these are legends, they're not real. Well, I mean, maybe they are, I don't know. But it always warns you of what you wish for, because you think that you're like, I want $1 million. And turns out that the jinn gives you $1 million that is stole from a local bank. So now you're wanted for bank robbery. You know, you need to be clear about what it is you're sending out into the world. If you're saying nonsense like, I'm not good enough for this, or, you know, if somebody compliments you and you're like, oh, you don't really mean it, you need to stop that. You need to put a nip in it right now, Gemini. Enough with that self-effacing, self-criticizing kind of like, what is it? Oh my God. Self-effacing, deprecating kind of self-deprecating attitude. Okay, that needs to stop. I mean, if you're the Magician, what really are you complaining about? You need to stop. You need to start being a lot more grateful for what you have. So be careful what things you're sending out into the world as well. Like, you know, I'm not happy with my home life. And you may say this after a fight or something like that, or you're exhausted or something. And next thing you know, your partner is leaving you, taking the kids, and you're like, no, I really didn't mean that, but the devil stepped in and is like, well, you kind of did because you asked for it. And let's see, or, just like you were happy in your relationship, but then you see somebody going by and like, oh man, if I could just give one night to be with that person, and then you end up getting herpes or chlamydia or any of the other weird or other sexual, what is it? Not STDs, but they're called STIs, sexually transmitted infections. I'm not sure. Okay. And really, this is just reinforcing that your words may be putting you in your own cage. Now, this is not the 8 of air. I get it. But you're inflicting damage upon yourself that is absolutely unnecessary, okay? And it's all because what you are speaking, you are bringing to life. So you need to start turning all this around into a lot more positive communication, because you're the magician right now. And this leadership opportunity, like, it's your words don't just hurt yourself, they hurt other people. And that's where this kind of like this possible devil energy is going to get you into trouble, is because the more you hurt other people, the less people are, one, going to trust you, want to be around you, rely on you. And this could be in a workplace, this could be in your personal home life, this could be on a sports team, like maybe you organize your fantasy football league. Like, you'll just start noticing people around you just start dropping off because they don't want to be around someone like you. And then that could lead to more self-deprecating behavior, which gets you into constantly feeling like you're nothing but wounded and hurt. Like you're just constantly trying to blow all the criticism away, and it's just exhausting. I'm sorry I don't have another message for you at this time regarding this. And this could be a new power that you're finding that comes to life. So I really think this is a big warning for you at this time, Gemini, is one, be careful what you wish for, especially if you're wishing for it out loud. If you're walking down the street, talking to yourself or talking things out loud, be careful, because you have the ability to turn all this into very positive energy. Like the temptation could be a good thing if you're starting to bring all those desires that you had in life, all those positive desires. Like, let's say you wanted to create the ability to a partnership that was built on abundance and sharing, and there was something about this person that you just connected with on an honest and true level. And I feel that it's those people who see that they're not perfect and they have these flaws, but that's what connected you. And it's not that it's an unhealthy relationship either once you get together. It's just you may have personality traits, or you may enjoy certain things that other people wouldn't, or normal, like people that you were together with didn't, but for some reason you just feel like, and they could be definitely more primal kind of desires, but it matches to you. So you could be using it to positively bring this person into life, because these other relationships that you're in just stressed you out because you could never be yourself. So you just kept you having to put on a facade and like acquiesce to whatever it is they wanted out of you to a certain circumstance, So you could be using that energy instead to bring this person into your life. But, some of you are really just using it as it's just a reinforcement of negativity. It's very self-deprecating, things like that. Got 1 to 15 with the 10 in the middle. Okay, for some of you others, this is the third message. So some of you are wishing, like, using your energy right now, and this isn't just verbal, and I think this is the use of verbal reinforcement of you saying things like, I'm fine, you can't hurt me, you can't affect me, your words will not bring me down. And I think you're gaining that strength and that confidence the way she's standing here at this ledge, and each time somebody tries to denigrate you, you just blow that argument away, you blow that criticism away, you know, you blow that insult away, and you let them fall like in front of you. None of them land on your ledge wherever you are standing high and proud. Oh, you can see me, sorry. High and proud in your own place. They're literally falling down below. And I think that is a really positive use of this magician for some of you. You're really going through a kind of personal internal change where you're taking control and you're taking power. You're leading your own life and your own mind, which is the big thing. You're starting to lead your mind and understanding that where the mind goes, so goes the heart and the body. And this is going to lead you to a place of not giving a shit about what other people are saying. You are going to live your life. Look at you. You're just resting there. They can say what they want to say, but look at this. You've got fruit growing in the tree. You've got this beautiful peach. You've got these with a heart in it, and you've got this booty, and you're just taking your daylight nap out in nature, like connecting one with who you are and one at peace. So I think some of you can also use this time to really take ownership over your own life and lead in that direction, and you're understanding your power and your worth. All right. Okay, Gemini, I am going to get you now an advice card from Spirit. This is the Moonology Oracle deck. What advice from Spirit do we have for you right now? So there is a chakra involved in this. This is going to be the first quarter moon in Virgo, so an earth sign. I feel like, yeah, some stability with this. So let's see. Assess the situation. All right. Yes. Okay. So in general, like I was saying, like your words are able to bring things to, like, you know, to life. You are able to bring reality to life. So you need to start assessing the crap that comes out of your mouth. Because each time a situation is presented to you, you don't want to fly off the hinge and just verbally regurgitate any kind of nonsense that comes into your mind. Stop. Take a breath. Take 5 breaths. And assess the situation. And then speak what you have to speak. All right? So I'm going to read from this because there might also be a... not a manifestation. Oh, we'll see when it comes to it. Okay, first quarter moon in Virgo. Affirmation. That's what I said. There might be an affirmation with it. There's definitely a chakra, or I mean, not a chakra, a chakra involved. I'm not sure if this is the third eye or the crown. Let's see. I'm going to page 64. It is the throat chakra. Okay. See, you can't make this. Spirit really, I mean, I'm perplexed all the time at the messages that it sends me. So we're talking about obviously speaking things to light. So the throat chakra, again, if you have a dysfunctional throat chakra, you are going to do what I just did. No, you are going to be creating negative feedback loops regarding your communication. So you want positive because you are creating things right now. You are bringing words to life, and you do need to make sure you're bringing the right ones to life. Not just for you, but to people around you, like I said, because if you start getting that, being that negative Nelly, people are going to start dropping like flies around you, okay? So let me read this. Stop, breathe, and take stock. Perhaps you've taken on too much. Now is the time to be reliable and practical. Laziness is your enemy. Also, don't be too influenced by the crowd and what they're saying. Do you still want... Do you still want what you used to want? And as much? If so, are you really doing what needs to be done to make your dreams real? Express how you feel, but do it without too much self-criticism or criticism of others. I mean, I can't. This is make an honest inventory about where you could do more to manifest your dreams. Okay. So now I want you, oh, and just so you know, since we're talking about Gemini, the first quarter moon in Virgo takes place when the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Virgo. So there is some Gemini energy automatically connected to this card as we speak. Now, we're going to take a couple or 3 specifically deep breaths. I want you to start now. Start relaxing yourself. Now, on the 3rd breath, you're going to close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now close your eyes. And then after this breath, you're going to repeat after me, either to yourself or preferably, specifically for you, out loud. Okay? Energies of the first quarter moon in Virgo. Thank you for helping me towards clarity and confidence. And I want you to speak these as though you're speaking them out of your throat chakra. Push that energy out of there, not just your mouth. Energies of the first quarter moon in Virgo. Thank you for helping me towards clarity and confidence. Energies of the first quarter moon in Virgo. Thank you for helping me towards clarity and confidence. Thank you very much, my Gemini. This is an amazing reading. I was called to like get up and just do this reading. It was very interesting. And now I'm understanding why, because Spirit is literally like grabbed me by the shoulders, pulled me up, walked me over to the space, sat me down and pat me on the head just so I could get this message to you all. Okay. So thank you very much for joining today. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And don't forget, there is a small meditation at the end of this. Just 1 minute. Just kind of bring yourself down, all right? Thank you very much, Gemini. Have a lovely day. Love and light. Enjoy the full moon. All right, hello. Thank you for joining back to me, Libra. This is your portion and section of the reading. So I'm just going to slowly shift that over since this space was really good. So Libra, we have a 5 of Earth, a 3 of Air, and the Emperor. Okay, so since the Emperor did come out, like I was talking earlier about that kind of, that masculine energy of the moon and how, if it's not used rightly or correctly, it comes out as narcissism. Now, if Libra... First off, I'm warning you, don't turn into this narcissist version of this. Now, it's not in reverse, but then even if it was, I only read uprights with the good tarot deck. It's meant to only be read upright. So it wouldn't be reversed, but let's see. This 3 of Air and this 5 of Earth. What are they telling you? Okay. What I'm getting off of this a little bit, I'm getting as far as this negative message regarding the Emperor, there's 2 reasons for this negative message. Now, hopefully there's a positive message for the Emperor as well, which I'll talk about later. But first off, the 2 negative messages. One of you, Libra, you may be feeling like you need to act like more of your bark needs to be loud because you feel people aren't listening to you or paying attention to you or following your directions. And I will tell you that the louder you bark, the less likely people are going to be to listen to you. But that is not going to stop you. You just keep on doing it. My advice, just right off the bat, is stop. Stop being that person. Libras are not really meant to be that loud and that barking. So just getting into that low vibrational state of Libras, of a Libra energy, which can be very controlling and a need to manipulate other people, that is ruled by this kind of negative behavior. And it is because you feel people may not be respecting you. And you may be feeling that you deserve certain levels of respect. Now, the other of you, the other negative side of this, is you are feeling isolated from people. And you are trying to get the attention of people because you're just lonely. And so you're just trying to make more ruckus than you normally would. Like, and this can come out as you're trying to wear different clothes that gets you more attention. You're trying to make jokes that aren't the normal jokes that you would make. You're trying to talk about culture issues that you normally wouldn't talk about because you're lonely where you're at and you're feeling isolated, and you really want, and it's really enforced with this 5 too. You're lonely and you don't want to be lonely. You want to be this outgoing, vibrant emperor that everyone looks at. And I mean, you may look at it like everybody wants to be their friend, but it's probably not true. Everybody may not want to be this person's friend, but they do pay attention to them. That is true, because it's almost hard not to. And you're wondering why that isn't happening for you. And I can tell you it's because you are a Libra. That's why. It's just not in your nature. You have different values and different characteristics that people absolutely will enjoy being around. Some of it is being sarcastic, in kind of like a stiff, non-humorous form of sarcastic. You also can be quite engaging when it comes to different kinds of like art, or the finer things of life, like housing, interior design, architecture, books, maybe certain kinds of books, but you will enjoy kind of like baking shows or bake stuff, or like baking with people, and having dinner parties. I mean, I think almost everybody does, but there's just a different type of Libra energy in which you have to embody. Like, stop trying to be somebody else's energy and just start embodying more of your own. Now, again, since this is a moon sign reading, this is about the person you are at home and in your foundation and within your family. So it's like you want to bring people into your circle of, I mean, Aquarius is more the friends group, but it is an air sign. So you want to bring in people to your home and your foundation and kind of invite them into your family scope, but you're presenting the wrong personality. Now, some of you actually might be an Aries sun, so that does not apply for you. You absolutely are this Aries, attitude, but that's not this message that I'm getting here. Okay. For others of you, now let's hope we go. And I hope the messages that I just gave you you didn't take it as a reinforcement of I'm going to have to stay in this position. I'm hoping that you're taking the words that I'm saying and as advice to actually be more comfortable in the skin that you were born in. And by skin, I mean the cosmic energy of particles and carbon material that makes you unique in who you are, instead of trying to carbon copy someone else. All right. Now, for some other of you, definitely you might be dealing with an Aries, or you might be a Sun Aries. Why wasn't this focus? Okay. Might be a Sun sign Aries. Maybe it's this. Or, it's ruled by Mars. So, if you have an Aries and Mars, maybe 2. Okay. Let's see. I just noticed this. My first time noticing it. I don't know if I can get close enough. If it will focus in. Okay. See how each one of these little birds has a little crown over their head? It's like their own spirit, like talus, Like each one is a certifiable guardian from the spirit world, but one of them is with you always. You're never alone, right? And if even in this one, you see this bird right here? Now, I always look at this Five of Earth, which is a lot different than most other Five of Earth. I mean, this person has become so, you know, ingrained in the position that they're in, is that they've metamorphosized into the actual forest. So, and that there's these 4 pentacles in front of you, but there's one behind you that you're not really taking advantage of. You're just seeing these 4 pentacles in front of you. And because the metamorphosis has almost fixed you in a certain position, it's making it much harder to turn around physically and see this other opportunity. So some of you may be really rooted in a very ego-driven way into the position where you are at, or into the frame of mind that you are in. This could be a physical location. Like I've said, some of you are up for a move, and you have been putting it off because you don't see it as being a benefit to you. Or some of you are in a certain frame of mind. It's very ego-driven, and it based on these kind of false perceptions of material value, and it's really pushing you to like turn around. Like this bird is looking at you kind of like, I feel like it's chirping you, telling you know, you're almost there. Your hand is almost on it. Your hand is almost there, but it's just not. And this is the same thing. Like these two people are like looking away in the opposite directions. Even though I feel like the light is shining in. Like I feel like the light that you see in this one is shining in from this realm. You know? Like if you put it back to back like this. Like on different parts of the dimension. So it's, I'm getting that there's a little bit of fear with this, but a lot of ego-driven stubbornness. And I feel it's about a journey that needs to happen. And the other thing about the Emperor is the Emperor is ready to go to battle. So, you know, in whatever kind of analogy you want to formulate, or metaphorical kind of story you want to pertain to that as battle is concerned, I mean, it just means that you're willing to take action on something. So the Emperor is willing to take action, but these 2 cards are literally very inactionable situations. Like this one's all about loneliness, and this one's all about kind of stubbornness. So I really think that some of you are needing to take a real actionable step towards this move without feeling any, you know, getting outside your belief of loneliness, or your feeling of loneliness. And, you know, if I can't accomplish anything anywhere, you know, here, then, or here, I might as well just stay here, you know. I just don't want to do this again. I don't want to move, or I don't want to change jobs, or I don't want to, you know, it's like, but there's this beautiful thing waiting for you just on, you turn around and follow this light. And if this person just follows this light, you'll meet each other, you know? So this could be also that this opportunity is going to offer you a very deep and effectual friendship. And this could be with a Aries. Like someone who is like, you feel like they were your friend forever. And you might actually find out that you have lived in similar places, or you maybe studied the same things. You're going to find out some similarity between the 2 of you. And it's just weird that your paths like took you the direction that it did, you know? All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Libra. I'm going to get an advice card for you. This is very interesting. I think, there's some real stagnant energy happening. And I think it's just asking you to really push yourself and to take on that small, just kind of leadership in your own life. Like become the leader of your own life, you know? Don't let somebody else lead it for you. All right, what is the advice that I am going to get for our Libra? It is an Aquarius. first quarter moon. And trust the universe. I say don't fight as much either with it. Battle there, so maybe, but what I was getting off of that is you're real ego-driven based. So, yeah, I think that is basically reinforcing that you're fighting the wrong battles, right? You're embodying the wrong kind of characteristical energy that doesn't align with who you are. Okay, so first quarter moon in Aquarius. There is going to be a short manifestation at the end. So at the end of me reading this, I am going to ask that you take 3 deep breaths with me and then repeat after me. I'm also going to let you know that this is about the third eye chakra. So when we do the manifestation, repeating it, I want you to try and focus on repeating the words through your third eye chakra, okay? It's time to release your grip on a situation. And I think part of that situation is releasing a grip on controlling or trying to define who you are to other people. I think you need to focus a lot more on just being yourself. So it's time to release your grip on a situation. Passion is good, but too much can become manic. Sometimes we feel too much intensity around our dreams because we're scared they won't come true. But that's counterproductive. Live and let live a little. State your intention to the universe, then detach. Trust the universe and see what happens. The tighter your grip now, the more likely you are to lose out. This is doubly true if you've been jealous or had issues to do with sex or money. Avoid trying too hard to influence someone else. Like I said, that manipulative possibility that Libras can do where they try to control other people. And so much like I feel when it said tighten your grip, like I feel is like you're trying to tighten, like this is just what's happening to you. You're literally becoming, the forest is eating you and metamorphosizing you into it because you just will not release your control and your grip on situation. And then when it came to the jealousy kind of thing, like some of this loneliness can come from you want to be part of a group that obviously is a manifestation of a form of jealousy. It's like you wish you had those friends, or you want that kind of attention the way that this emperor has attention. But it's not about the amount of friends you have, it's about the quality. It's not the amount of communication you have with people, it is the quality. It's not the amount of experiences you have, it's the quality. Just because someone goes around talking about how they've done all these things, how did they enjoy themselves? Did the people around them enjoy themselves? Was it actually a thing worth doing? So, it definitely is this trust in the universe, relax a little, and connect with yourself. And I think this third eye will allow you to connect deeper to the real who you are that we're trying to get you to live in. That carbon makeup, that helix of your own, right? Okay, so let's take some deep breaths, 3 deep breaths. First one in and out. Another in. Relax, deep breath out. Now close your eyes for the last breath in. And exhale out. And repeat after me by utilizing your third eye and trying to envision the color indigo. Energies of the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Thank you for showing me that it's okay to be me. Energies of the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Thank you for showing me that it's okay to be me. energies of the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Thank you for showing me that it's okay to be me. I mean, that's exactly what I was trying to say. All right, thank you so much, Libra, for joining me today. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support, and it does help the channel out. Don't forget, there is a small meditation at the end of this video. Love and light. All right, thank you very much for returning. Happy birthday, any of you Aquariuses that have recently had them or will have them in the next couple days. So we have for you the Nine of Earth, Page of Air. I do love that Page of Air. I like the Page of Air in general. And the Three of Earth. Okay, so there's the other three. We had some threes going on. I like that yours is a little bit more concrete. The Nine of Earth is just a beautiful Empress manifestation, glorious abundance card for me. I think this is one of the most beautiful abundance cards in the deck. It's not, and it's because it's not overtly, I mean, it is shimmering in some essence of gold, and she is carrying a lot of that aura, abundance aura energy with her, and it looks like even it could reflect like metallics, the sun behind her, but it's not like the 10, you know, is just never having to, it's almost, to me, the 10 of abundance and the 10 of cups. It's a great in concept, but I feel like that's an end of life situation where, okay, you've got so much you don't need to do anymore. And I think a life without continuing to progress and to succeed and grow is basically an end of life situation. I don't think we should continue to, you know, to be our best person and to emulate our characteristics to its full potential up until the point where we accept that the next cycle of our life is going to take effect, and that we are working at that point, preparing ourselves for the end of our cycle towards the after, you know, the in-between cycle before reincarnation. So I think this is really beautiful, stable, like the foundations to create a prosperous and abundant life that has room for growth. The Three of Earth tells me that there's a lot of possibility for teamwork. And like the way that I always look at this Three of Earth, it also gives a lot of Three of Fire energy to me. Because the way that they're holding this staff, the way that the Three of Fire usually will hold the staff means, and the way that her hand is looking out in front of her for the next horizon, for the next hill, like where is the next step to take, right? And I see that happening here. So this move that is possibly being made, one, it's going to reap a lot of financial benefit. I mean, we have the 7, which we were just stagnant and happy in for a while, but this opportunity is going to allow us to become the 9, which is that growth that we need, and that the mind, the body, and the soul constantly needs to improve upon. And you're looking out at that change, like, one, bring it on. Yeah, of course. And you're ready for it. It's come through by, you know, working hard and maintaining a stable mental connection, and by working through your life spiritually and by experience. So I feel like all these things are possible because you put in that work, those kind of like core foundational elements that you need in order to build any successful, you know, structure. And I think also what this is going to do, this Page of Air, it is going to inspire new, like that inspiration I was talking about before. Something is coming up where this move, either a job or whatever, you're going to start learning something, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I love learning about this. I want to, you know, read magazine, like you're going to invest in magazines or weeklies or something about this subject matter. And you're going to start listening to podcasts about it. You're going to start buying autobiographies about it, or books written by people that, like, once you start getting to know it, you're like, oh, this person is a leader in this field or in this subject matter. I'm going to buy some books by this person, or I'm going to buy a book by this person. And then you're going to follow them on Twitter or Instagram, and then they're going to recommend somebody else. And you're going to, I mean, this is just going to lead to a lot of like, it's like, ooh, I am so inspired to learn about this. And I am like I've got the bug, I've got the itch. There's some kind of lightning bolt kind of struck you and you're just like, boom, yes, this is great. So I really feel like this opportunity here, this change, either in just location or job, is going to offer a lot of opportunity for you to be inspired about learning something. For others of you, I think it is going to bring in a community, a small group of people that you've been looking for to make you feel whole. It's this the Seven of Water, kind of like I said, there was this could even be teamwork, like all these actions and all these different type of species, whatever, working together to get an objective done. I feel like you've been looking for your peoples, your team, those that are on the same path that you were at this time and that want kind of the similar things out of life. I know there's that saying that, if you want to find somebody to marry, hang out with your married friends. And then equally they say, well, if you're married, don't hang out with your divorced friends because you'll end up getting divorced. But the same, I think that same can apply to just in general, finding people who are at the same stage in your life that want the same thing. If you just got your PhD and you want to write and publish a book, you're not going to be hanging out with your friend that is trying to become, a Instagram model online and in their spare time takes shots of their feet and, sells it to pervy old men. You're just not on the same path. You're going to surround yourself with people that have the same goals as you. Therefore, you end up sharing the same kind of intellectual, stimulating experiences, possibly cultural, socioeconomical. There's just, you just end up you're getting your community. You're finding your community, your team. Yeah. And you've been looking for them. And you see them, you're like, oh, yeah, that's where they are. You're like, oh, yeah, you guys, you two, come over here. Come over here. I'm going to be your friend now, right? And you have something to offer them. That you are kind of that third stick in a teepee that they needed in order to hold up their hut, it's going to create some real beauty, and you guys are going to learn together as well. So there's a lot of good. There's that new job, there's a new community for some of you, there's real growth and stability, there's obviously inspiration about learning something new. Now, if this is moving into a new place, you may be moving to a place that the history of the city you had no idea existed before because our schools may not have taught it or something, but there may be something about the city itself that you're just like, oh my God, did you know the history? You know who founded this? You know what happened in this year? And did you know that these are the, indigenous Americans that lived here? Or, the founder of this community was actually this person? Or did you know, there's something that may inspire you, and you may end up getting involved in civics and the economics of the city. So you may serve on the city council or something like that. You may run for city council. There may be 9 spots on the city council or something. I feel like you'll get involved. Very interesting. I'm getting a lot of very interesting leadership qualities about this, but it doesn't surprise me, Aquarius. I think you're really, and the Aquarius is, I know you're capable of absolutely higher learning. You have a knack for higher learning. If you want to achieve it, it's up to you, obviously. To do that, and you definitely enjoy your community around you, and you do inspire people. You're very talkative, rambunctious, kind of humorful. I don't think that's a word. Humorous people, and people enjoy that. So I think this shift has a really, really interesting, positive outcome for you, Aquarius. I mean, there are just so many good messages in that. I don't have anything deeper to say. I think it's beautiful. Teamwork, community, learning, and abundance. I don't know. All right, let's see what kind of advice the universe has for you at this time. Where was it? There was something in here that kind of caught my finger when I went through first. Let's see. Interesting. Every single one of you got first quarter moons. which means you also each got a chakra that's involved advice-wise. So first quarter moon, I really should look up actually. The first quarter moon, I think it's about basically tidying up all your loose ends so you can start something fresh. Let's see, what page are we on? First quarters, let's see, 53 is where it'll all tell me. Okay, first quarter moons, the energy of these cards reveal where you're being challenged and how to use the obstacles arising now as springboards to where you want to be. I'm going to end up having to do an extra little video for everyone else because you all have the same thing. Talk about synchronicities with you air signs. But you have first quarter moon in Gemini. And Aquarius, I got to say, Libra got your first quarter moon. And then Gemini got the first quarter moon in Virgo, but the first quarter moon in Virgo happens when the sun is in Gemini. So there's a lot of air energy happening here. I can double check when your sun energy comes if it has one of the other elements in there. Let's see. This is in first quarter moon in Gemini, 58. Okay, interesting. So the first quarter moon in Gemini takes place when the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Gemini. So crazy. Okay, so what we have here is the first quarter moon, speak your world into being. Oh, and this is very interesting because this is actually very much the message I got in Gemini. Like, they have the magician, and it's all about your words, like, you know, casting spells. You're speaking your words into truth, into actualization, into being. So that is very interesting. And their moon was assess the situation. So I feel that both of you, there may be a lesson that you need to learn about assessing the situation. Let's see here. Okay. Can you see it? Yes. Think about what you want. Do you really believe you can create it? Do you believe you have what it takes, or do you secretly doubt yourself? Worse, are you quietly preparing for failure? Say it ain't so. Please say it ain't so. Here's the thing. You can't fool the universe. Repeated affirmations that you don't believe are a waste of time. Believe in your magic. If someone has spoken or written unkind words to you, counter them with kind words to yourself. Try it. Speak your world into being. Talk about it as though it's already happening. Okay. Now, this is the throat chakra, which also Gemini got the throat chakra. And the page of air is all about not just about learning, but communicating what it is that they're learning. So we're going to take these 3 deep breaths. On the third breath, I'm going to ask that you close your eyes. Now, when we do the affirmation portion of this, after our breaths, I want you to envision that you are speaking not just verbally, and I'm going to ask you to actually speak it verbally, specifically because that's what this is. You know, it's all about the throat chakra. But I want you to speak it as though you're emanating it from this space as well. Okay? Visualize that. All right, so take in your first deep breath. And really relax and breathe in. Exhale. Now close your eyes for the last breath in. And release. And then when you're done, repeat after me. Energies of the first quarter moon in Gemini. Thank you for helping me to raise my thoughts and sow my vibration. Energies of the first quarter moon in Gemini. Thank you for helping me to raise my thoughts and sow my vibrations. Energies of the first quarter moon in Gemini. Thank you for helping me to raise my thoughts and sow my vibrations. Now, there might be a Gemini also that is important to you in your life right now, or one of the people that you may be meeting will be a Gemini. This also might come to fruition during Gemini season, which is part of June. Might be May, June. Yeah, I think it's May, June. And I'm getting that really, really strongly because the fact that it's so similar to the Gemini reading. Your rising sign might also be Gemini. You may, if you have a Gemini in your chart as far as your rising sign or your sun sign, I recommend going back and watching the Gemini one as well. I know this is usually just moon readings, but there is something really beautiful about the connection of these two. You might be married to a Gemini, and that is what is kind of like limiting you or keeping you in this place. And you're going to have to convince this partner to go with you on this journey, because you have, you might have given up so much for this individual. It's about time that they put, you first type of situation. And definitely, like as I mentioned, this throat chakra work, really be wary of what it is that you're saying, because you could be, manifesting things into life. And for chakra cleansing, maybe try a couple YouTube videos or anything like that. All right. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, Aquarius, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support for this channel. And don't forget that it's a short meditation after this, although I am going to stick in a short video so everybody knows about the quarter moons. Love and light, Aquarius, and enjoy the journey. All right, everyone, I did this short little video is because it turns out that all of you, all 3 air signs, got first quarter moons. Now, that was a lot of synchronicity, and specifically Gemini, I do want to mention, as Aquarius got the first quarter moon in Gemini that says speak your words into being, which is very similar. And you both got throat chakras, which is very similar to the messages I was telling you, but obviously it was more important as far as advice to assess the situation first. But if you want to watch, I recommend watching the Aquarius video if you have any Aquarius, like a rising sign or a sun sign in your chart. Also, I believe, or if you're married to an Aquarius, because one of the messages that came along to this Aquarius is that if they're married to a Gemini, the Gemini might have to forego some of their, they might have to support you for this time period. So going back, thou Aquarius. So everyone, I just want to let you know what the first quarter moon actually signifies as an advice. The energies of these cards reveal where you are being challenged and how to use the obstacle arising as springboards to where you want to be. So that is also the overall advice I am getting for all of you. I mean, the synchronicity is just too much. All right. Okay. I had to interrupt. Now enjoy the short meditation. Love and light. Now take a deep breath. And deep, pure, purifying energy. Pure white light. Just calm yourself and focus in